fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we'll be taking a look at the first wave of 4-inch figures for Spin Master's new line based on the upcoming movie The Batman. As you can see here, this first wave is comprised of 4 figures. We have, of course, Batman, Selina Kyle, the Penguin, and then Wingsuit Batman. Now, I think it's interesting that she's Selina Kyle and not Catwoman, so I'm wondering if she's not going to be addressed as Catwoman in this film, so we'll have to wait and see. But the packaging, pretty similar here to what we've seen in the past for Spin Master packaging. Now, I will say, if you appreciated that kind of locker system with the hidden accessories and you didn't know which ones you were going to get, well, that's kind of gone. They just have the 3 accessories here. Still get 3, which is nice, but they're just packaged in the bubble, so that suspense is gone. You know exactly what you're going to get ahead of time, so apologies if you appreciated that aspect of the packaging. But otherwise, pretty similar. Spin around to the back, we have kind of a glamour press shot here of the figure. It's actually kind of neat, though. I really like it. They have kind of like the smoke effect going on. You have like a bridge here in the background. It's actually a pretty cool shot, so some neat toy photography going on here. Here is the back of Selina Kyle's. And then here is the Penguin. And then Wingsuit Batman. So I just wanted to show those off because it's actually some pretty cool shots. They have that kind of foggy bridge going on in the background there. But yeah, I like the packaging. I think it's neat. I personally didn't really care about the hidden accessories, so to me it's just as easy to just see what's there, and it'd probably be a lot easier to just open these because you can just cut the bubble off the card and actually keep the cards if you wanted to. Wasn't really something you could do with the old packaging, so gonna go ahead, get these 4 open, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here are the 4 figures out of the packaging. We'll start over here on the left with Batman. And he's a solid figure. I mean, he's perfectly fine. Now, if you did happen to buy the Batmobile, that also came with a Batman. And I believe they are exactly the same figure. I really tried to get in close and see what the differences are. I really could not find any. I thought maybe is it a different shade of black or gray, and it's not really. The head sculpt looks to be the same. The articulation's the same. As far as I can tell, this is the exact same figure. The single-packed Batman and the Batman that comes with the Batmobile, exactly the same. So if you already have the one that comes with the Batmobile, you could forego this figure. Although he does have some accessories, so we'll go through those real quick. He's got a Batarang, so that's cool. Can't go wrong with the Batarang, and that kind of fits into his hand pretty well. We'll go ahead and just kind of pop it in there, and he's all ready to throw that at an unsuspecting criminal. He has this red gun with a bat thing at the end. Is this some kind of propeller? Does this spin? Does this fire? Is this a grappling gun? I'm assuming it's a grappling gun because I really don't know what else it would be. I don't know why it's bright red. That seems a little out of place for Batman, but I'm going to assume this is some kind of grappling gun. Maybe this part fires off. There's some kind of cord or something you can make believe. So I don't know. He's got that accessory. And then the final accessory is this, like, armor piece. But it looks exactly the same as his normal chest. To the point that when you pop it on and push it into place, you can barely tell he's wearing it. I don't really know what the point of that is. I mean, it's body armor. It definitely makes him a little bit bulkier, like if I put the arm down. It just looks exactly like the chest underneath, so I don't get the point. Like, if they had done something maybe where this was like a black and maybe like a silver bat or something, or a yellow bat, or just something to make it a little different, I just don't really see the point. Like, if this was a Bruce Wayne figure or something like that, and they had this armor piece, then that would look great. I think that'd be very cool. But to just have this clip over this, and maybe there's going to be a Bruce Wayne figure later in the line, and this will come into play. But for right now, to just clip this piece over the chest, and it looks exactly the same, is a bit strange to me. So, I gotta be honest, if you already have the Batman from the Batmobile, I feel like just stick with that. I feel like this isn't really worth it because this accessory doesn't really do much for me. The bright red, I'm assuming grapple gun, doesn't really do much for me. I mean, the Batarang is fine. But I mean, are you going to rebuy this figure again for the Batarang? I wouldn't. But again, it's not to say there's anything wrong with this figure. You know, it's got the head articulation, a little bit of side to side, a little bit of up and down. Got the hinge here in the shoulder as well as the rotation. Can't go, well, I guess it can go all the way around as long as you kind of move it around the little bit of the cape shoulder that hangs out there. You got not quite 90 degrees in the elbow, but you have a rotation as well. From the from the elbow to the forearm is one solid piece. Nothing in the waist. You can kick forward. You can kick out to the side, so you got decent ball joint in the hip there. You got thigh swivel. You got a 90-degree bend in the knee. And then the swivel is underneath the knee, so it's at the top of the boot. So he's got great articulation, and it is a good figure. If you didn't get the Batmobile, and you're not planning to, then by all means, go ahead and pick up this Batman. It's a good figure. It's just that if you already have the Batman from the Batmobile, this is exactly the same, except he has a Batarang. So that's really the only difference. The other two accessories not really doing much for me, I have to admit. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a good figure. It's just you may already have it. So if I can get him to stand, which he wasn't having any issue doing earlier. All right, let's move on to Selina Kyle. So this is a pretty cool figure. I think she looks good. She's wearing a black jumpsuit here, so not really much in the terms of detailing. She really just has the belt buckle there. But it's still a good figure. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. Got a little bit of side-to-side movement there. Some of these I feel like they get caught to a certain point where they don't really want to go past that. And I don't want to break them, so I'm not trying to spin them all the way around. Doesn't really have too much in the way of up and down. Everything else is pretty much the same. You have the hinge, you have the swivel in the shoulder. Her elbows are a little tight, so just be careful with them. But she's got the same bend there. She's got the swivel, nothing in the waist. Pretty much all the same articulation as Batman. She's got the knee joint there. Now her spin is above the knee joint, as opposed to Batman's, which was below. And her legs really go out to the side. I assume that's just to give her the right pose, so she has the right stance, so she can stand. But she's very thin. Very, almost frail. I mean, the figure stands up well. I'm worried about things breaking just because it's so thin. But overall, I think she looks good. She doesn't have any kind of Catwoman mask or anything like that. This is exactly what she looks like. Now, she has a couple of accessories, and I'm going to get these out of the way first because I hate them. She has these gloves. I don't know why she needs gloves. She already is wearing gloves, you can see right here. But this is the thing that they fall into a lot, where Spin Master wants you to put something into the character's hands, like gloves or boxing gloves, or I think Nightwing had something similar, where instead of just giving him a normal, weapon accessory, they put the weapon into a molded hand, and then made you put the hand on top of his hands. It's very dumb. But instead of just having this, clip onto the wrist, they give you this peg that is supposed to go into the character's hand like they're holding an accessory, and then it just looks like a giant glove over the hand, but it's also not oriented correctly, because if I'm putting a glove on the character's hand, I would want to put it on this way, because this is the way their hand is oriented. Instead, they want me to put it in like this, so you can kind of see the bottom of the hand, but now you're seeing the hand or the glove like this. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. I wish they would stop with these. They show up every so often in the line as accessories, and they just don't work. And I know we've had other accessories. I think it was Man-Bat who had a pair of claws that just clipped onto the wrist, exactly the way you'd want it. Just clips on, oriented correctly, looks great. Didn't have this weird peg. Didn't want me to basically peg this in perpendicular to how it should be oriented. I just don't like these. Plus, I don't know why she would have giant, massive, oversized gloves in the first place. So I don't like this accessory. I'm putting it to the side. It's terrible. Now, of course, she does come with a whip. And this works. This is fine. It's a little big to put in her hand, but you can get it in there. And then it's just a typical whip accessory. Perfectly good. No problem whatsoever. And she also has this little knife. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it plays some role in the movie. I don't know. But she has a little knife as well. So these two accessories are perfectly fine. The gloves are terrible and not good at all. But it's a solid little figure with some decent accessories here. And overall, she's okay. Nothing super impressive. Nothing terrible. Just kind of, you know, run-of-the-mill standard. Now, she's probably not going to want to stand now that I've given her the whip because it's probably going to make her too top-heavy. See, she doesn't have a lot of weight to distribute, so I might have to just kind of put this down. Maybe now she'll stand. No. What if I lean her up against Batman? She can knock them both over. Hopefully that stays. All right, let's move on to Penguin. All right, so Penguin. Now, you probably weren't expecting this, but he's the best figure in the wave. He really is. He looks great. Really nice detail. He's got the pinstripe pants here from a suit. He's got suspenders, purple shirt, necktie. Head sculpt looks pretty good. They even got like the bags under his eyes. Really well done. He's got his thinning hair up here. And I mentioned earlier with a lot of the other figures, because their heads are a little bit smaller, when you're turning the head, they kind of hit a point where you hit resistance and it doesn't feel like they want to move anymore. He really doesn't have that. He's got a nice, solid neck joint. He's got a little bit of tilt down, up, not too bad. He's got really solid shoulder joints because he's a little bit of a bigger character. So because they're not so thin, he's got the really nice elbow here. He's got the spin. Nothing in the waist like all the other ones, but he's got the nice ball joint here in the hip. Thighs swivel, no problem. He's got the knee. He's got the swivel above the knee joint there. He's a solid figure. He really looks good. Great paint applications, great detail, really solid articulation. Feels like a very hefty, solid figure. And he's got amazing accessories. So let's get into this. So first off, we'll get the lamest one out of the way. He's got a little taser. It's fine. It's not bad. Again, don't really know why it's bright red. I guess they're just, you know, the black and red color scheme for the packaging. But he's got a little taser. It's fine. Nothing to write home about. He's got his, you know, umbrella or parasol, if you will. And you can go ahead and hold this. So we can have him hold it. It's a little difficult to get into his hand, I'll be honest. But you can have him kind of hold it like an umbrella. Now, I know you can't really use it as a cane because it is a little short. But he can still hold it like this if you want. If we go ahead and actually have him... Whoops. If we get this actually into the hand here. Let's do this. Come on. Here we go. Okay, so now he's holding it like an umbrella. You can remove this part, and it's a secret blade underneath. Like, you know how Penguin always has, like, trick umbrellas and things like that? They did it. It's great. This piece comes off. He's got a secret sword blade under here. I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. And then for his best, well, this one's pretty cool, but debatable, his best accessory, he's got a briefcase that opens, and he's got a big stack of money inside, like he's making an exchange. This piece can come out if you want. It's just a solid square here. But pretty nicely printed there. That's pretty solid. And it just sits in here. And you close this up, so it's like he's got a briefcase, like he's making an exchange, whether it's a ransom or some kind of mafia deal or something like that. That's amazing. This is a great accessory to give him. The umbrella's fantastic. The briefcase is fantastic. Now, he might have a little difficulty getting this into his hand because his hands are kind of tight. But I think if we wiggle this a little bit, there we go. All right, we're in. We are in. That's amazing. He's, like I said, easily the best in the wave. Figure looks great. Accessories are fantastic. I absolutely love him. And last but not least, well, maybe least, we've got Wingsuit Batman. So, it's Batman. Again, exact same figure from over here and the one in the Batmobile. But this time, his cape is slightly different. He's got these little clips that you can have clip onto his ankles and his wrists. So he's got like a flying squirrel base jumping suit. Okay, it's something, you know, I get it. It's a little different. It's not the most exciting. You can completely take these off if you want. You can unclip everything here. And then, you know, it can just kind of be somewhat of a normal cape because it is still attached where the normal cape would be. And then you've got all the same articulation from the other figure. Really nothing different. Everything's exactly the same. So, I mean, it's literally just the exact same Batman figure that you might have from this and also might have from the Batmobile. But now he's got a slightly different cape. And you can kind of put the arms out to the side and kind of clip these on here so that it's basically like a base jumping suit, which is a neat idea. Like, I get it. Could they have maybe given him a somewhat different color scheme for the bat suit or something? That's all I'm asking. I mean, I get it. You know, he's a gimmick figure. Batman always has gimmick figures. They want to make sure there's plenty of different Batmans to collect, and I totally get that. But just do a slight repaint. You know, give him like a... Do this one as like a blue and gray Batman, or a black and gray Batman, or give him like a silver bat, or just something different. Do something. The bare minimum of repaint, it's just the cape. So yeah, it's all right. It's not great. It's just kind of there. So he does come with some accessories though. The funny thing is, he does not have any unique accessories. He literally comes with one accessory from everyone else in the wave. He comes with the penguins, like Taser. He comes with regular Batman's Batarang. And he comes with Selina Kyle's blade. So he has no new accessories. He just steals one from every other figure in the wave. So if I was going to be honest, if you have the Batmobile and you already have this Batman, then I would not buy him. Buy this one, because at least it's somewhat different. You can still get a Batarang, which you can then give to your Batman from the Batmobile. And then you'll just have some extra knives and tasers, I guess. But I don't know. This guy, to me, was a bit of a letdown because I already had the one from the Batmobile, and it's exactly the same. The only difference is no accessories, and he comes with accessories. But as we discussed, the only one of his accessories that's even worth anything, in my opinion, is the Batarang, which also comes with this guy. So you can get the Batarang and at least a somewhat different cape. You don't have to buy this one. I mean, unless you really want this piece of body armor that looks exactly like what he's wearing, and this bright red, I'm assuming, grapple gun, then by all means. I mean, I'm not like I said, you're still getting a quality figure. The figure is still good. But if you've been collecting everything from the line, it's very redundant. I would have liked to just see some kind of repaint or something to make it a little different, especially having both of these in the first wave. Like, I would get it if you just want to have a Batman in every wave. So throw him in wave 2 and give us the Riddler in this wave. You know what I mean? Make it the solid. But maybe they're saving the Riddler for wave 2, because I'll be honest, there's not a ton of characters in this movie from what I understand. So it's going to be hard to get a ton of different waves out of it. I don't know. Just to have two Batmans in the same wave that are almost identical seems suspect to me. But I don't know. I mean, really, the Penguin being the breakthrough figure of the wave, nobody saw that coming. Let's be honest. Nobody saw that coming, but it's true. It's 100% true. And don't get me wrong, Selina Kyle, very close second. She's a good figure. Most of her accessories are good. You know, articulation and everything is there. To me, it's just a black bodysuit. It's a little plain. It's a little boring. It's not super exciting. I hate the glove accessories that she comes with, but the whip's fine. The little blade is fine. Nothing wrong there. So in my opinion, Penguin number 1. I'll give Selina Kyle number 2 only because I already have Batman from the Batmobile and he's no different. But it's still a quality Batman. So if you're not buying the Batmobile, then go ahead, you know, get one of each, I guess. Well, you can decide if you need both Batmans or not. If you already have the Batmobile, then I would say forget him, get the other 3, and then you'll have all the accessories you need. In any case, get yourself a Penguin, because he's great. Easily the best of the wave. Never saw it coming. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.